Hello, welcome back. I'm Nathan, your teacher, and now we're into topic number 3. We're almost halfway done. Can you believe it? All right, we're going to look into something new, but of course we need to review what we've done so far. All right, and just to remind you, we are in ESL 101 speaking. Now, you're going to hear me say this quite often because I think it's important. I want you to work hard, do your best. Now, you need to get a 70% for this course in all of your assignments, okay? And you need to average an 80% for all of your coursework, all right? But I know you can do that. You're not going to do the minimal expectation. You're going to aim for the highest score, right? Because you guys are great students, I'm sure. All right, so let's look a little bit what we're going to do for this topic, and it is stress in words. Now, stress here means that the syllable in the word that is the loudest, and that's very important in English. English has many syllables, as we talked about in the last topic, previous topic, but one syllable has to be the loudest, and we're going to learn more about that, how to make our stress in words, or syllable stress, how to make it accurate, right, when we're pronouncing words. However, let's just do some review a little bit from topics 1 and 2, okay? So if you remember topic number 1, what did we talk about? Voiced and voiceless, right? It's a very important distinction, right? You have to vibrate that throat, use those muscles, make them stronger to pronounce some words in English. Otherwise, we will hear the wrong sound. By we, I mean the native speakers or people who you are speaking with and using English, right? And for those slides, a set of slides for topic 1, there's one slide that I want you to go back and refer to quite often. And it's the slide that has a column and it shows you voiceless sounds and the partners on the other side, the voiced sounds. So many sounds in English have a voiceless and voiced partner, like t, d, k, g, p, p, and so on. So refer to that chart often, please. All right? It'll just help you improve and understand the topic a little better. Also during that first topic, that first week, we looked at sound spelling patterns, right? So for example, du, duh, when we see it in a word like individual, we can be confident that we know it's pronounced as j, as like J in job. So individual, right? All right, and then going on to topic 2, all right, starting in the middle of the second week, we looked at what? Do you remember? Syllable endings or sound endings, all right? Suffixes like ed, s, all right? And how they have different ways of pronouncing those endings. And when do we use this sound and that sound and the other sound? So for example, s, we can pronounce it 3 ways. S, z, and is. And ed, we can pronounce it 3 ways. T, d, and id. What's the difference? Well, when we think about the first topic, voiced and voiceless sounds, we know that we have to match the voiceless sound at the end of a verb with the voiceless s sound. Or if we're using past tense, we have to match the voiceless sound with a voiceless ed sound, which is t. And so the opposite would be true. If the last sound is voiced, then the ed has to be voiced. Right? And then there was that third group, if you remember, a little special group where the S sound is too similar to the last sound of the word. So then we have to insert an additional vowel, which means we are adding a syllable. And also with the simple past tense, ed, if the last sound is t or d, t or d, then we cannot just add a t or d on the end because it's the same sound. We can't do that. So we have to insert another vowel, which means we are adding a syllable. So syllables, we count syllables by looking at the vowels. Right? We don't count the consonants. A syllable can only have one vowel. It could have a vowel and surrounded by many syllables. But we just count the vowels. Don't count the spelling, all right? Some words have 2 vowels together, but it's still just one sound. Be careful of that, all right? Okay, so that was just a review of what we've done so far. All right, so remember, the purpose of these slides is to just summarize the key points that you're going to be assessed on in the assignments. However, successful students, they go beyond minimal expectation. They go beyond that and they do the other exercises and they really spend time with that. They do more than what I ask them to do. And that's you. You're going to be successful students because you're going to do more than the minimal expectation. Okay? Now, even though this course is separate from listening, they're still connected in some ways. So you've noticed that already with the assignments that I've given you so far. Right? So the two courses are connected in many ways, even though you're going to receive 2 separate grades for them. So we're ready now to look at topic 3, words and stress. All right, so you will learn to use part of speech. Part of speech means nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs. Use part of speech to predict word stress. You can predict. You don't have to guess. You can be confident that you know exactly where the stress is, all right, when you look at the part of speech. All right, so let's look at the introduction, shall we? So, in words with 2 or more syllables, one syllable is stronger than the others. Every word is like that. Every word in English, if you have more than one syllable, 2 or more, one syllable has to be louder. This is called primary stress, the main stress. For example, I give you 4 words right here, and I use uppercase letters to show you which syllable is stressed. So for example, final, right here, final, the first syllable is stressed. Final, final. Can you hear how phi is louder than the no? Begin, begin. Notice how begin is louder than but. Begin. You can barely hear the but. Begin. The third example over there, professor, professor. Can you hear how fess is louder than the first and the last syllable? Professor. And the last example, photography, photography. All right, so the ta is the loudest syllable. You can barely hear the but. That's really quick, not as loud, kind of soft a little bit. Photography, photography. So the stressed syllable has to be clearly pronounced. It's often at a higher pitch, right? And it could be longer than the other vowels in the word. In fact, it is. Most often, it is longer because you have to stretch it out to make it clear. All right, so I want you to go to page 55 of your textbook, and you're going to do listening activity 1. Now, your textbook is well said, the 3rd edition. Don't buy the 1st or 2nd. Get the 3rd edition, all right? And look at that activity, and then we're going to look at the next slide to give you some clues about that, all right, on how to do it and how to understand it. Okay, here we are. So these are the answers to the exercise that you tried, and hopefully you tried your best, I'm sure. So let's just look at a few of them, okay? Now you can always go to the audio, CD21. You can download it here, open the attachment, and listen to that. So it gives you an option, to hear another native speaker, not always me. So anyway, number 1, the answer was cities, cities. Number 2, it was selfish, selfish, all right? But the other option, for example, number 1 was CDs. But this is cities. The stress is in the first syllable. Cities, cities. But the other option, the CD disc that we use to listen to music, CDs, the stress is in the second syllable. And number 2, selfish, right? This is the verb and an object, all right? So they're 2 different words, so both of them are going to be stressed, selfish. But the other option was selfish. It was one word, selfish. And the stress would be in the first part. That wasn't the answer. This was the answer, right? So you can go back. If you missed some of these, please go back to the audio, open that attachment again, and re-listen to that, all right? Listen for the syllable that is clearest, all right, loudest, and the vowel is kind of stretched a little bit. It's longer, so make sure that it's clear.